into the stream and hurt the frogs and other animals that lived there. Frogville could give frogs a clean habitat with insects to eat and water that was safe for their tadpoles. And it could show people a new way to use their yards and help nature. Aaron sat on a bench and sketched a dragonfly. He drew a different animal each time he visited the zoo. Maybe one day, his sketches would hang in the zoo gallery. He hoped so anyway. Suddenly, Aaron heard laughter. "Ha ha ha! Cut it out!" Aaron looked around. A wiggling pair of legs was sticking out of the hydrangea hedge. Aaron ran to the hedge. The wiggling legs belonged to Zookeeper Fred. "Hee, help!" yelled Zookeeper Fred. "Are you okay?" asked Aaron. "I'm stuck," cried Zookeeper Fred. "Ha ha ha!" "What's so funny?" asked Aaron. "Hyenas!" called Ada Twist, who was running toward them. "Hyenas!" cried Aaron. "Where?" "Through the hedge," said Ada. "This is the backside of the hyena habitat. Hyenas give him the tickles every time he sees them." Aaron peeked through the hedge. Sure enough, 2 large hyenas with sharp teeth were looking back at him through a wire fence. Their bark sounded like laughter and sent Zookeeper Fred into another fit of giggles. "Hee, ha ha ha!" Just then, Rosie Revere arrived with Iggy Peck and Sophia Valdez. Zookeeper Fred was Rosie's uncle. She looked at his wiggling legs and sighed. "Did the hyenas get Uncle Fred again?" she asked. "The gardeners planted the hedge to keep that from happening. Stop laughing, Uncle Fred." "I can't," snorted the zookeeper. "It's just too fun. Hee. "Think of something sad," said Aaron. "Like mushy cereal," said Sophia. "Or melted ice cream," said Ada. "Or Gothic-style windows in an Art Deco mansion," said Iggy, who loved architecture. The Questioneers looked at Iggy. "What?" he asked. "It's an architectural nightmare." "Iggy's right," said Uncle Fred. "The wrong windows ruin the whole design." He stopped laughing. He sniffled. He looked like he might even cry. "Pull it together, Uncle Fred," said Rosie. Zookeeper Fred wiggled and waggled and plopped onto the path. He brushed off his uniform and straightened his mustache. "Thank you," he said. "I was looking for Vern in the hedge when the hyenas got me laughing." "Who's Vern?" asked Aaron. Zookeeper Fred pulled out a photo of a tiny green snake hiding in a sandwich. "Vern is the sweetest snake I've ever met," he said, brushing away a tear. Aaron wasn't a big fan of snakes, but he had to admit that a tiny green snake in a sandwich was pretty cute. Unfortunately, not every animal at the zoo was cute. The zoo was filled with big predators with very big teeth and very, very big appetites. They would love a little green snack if one slithered by. Aaron looked at his friends. He could tell he wasn't the only one thinking it. Vern was in danger, and there was nothing funny about that. Chapter 3. The Questioneers wandered around the zoo looking for Vern. It didn't take long to realize they had a problem. The zoo had lots of animals, but it had 1,000,000 times more plants. How could they find a tiny green snake in a giant green jungle? They gave up looking and went to Uncle Fred's office. The zookeeper looked sadly at his lunch. "Vern loved hiding in sandwiches," he said with a sigh. "It was kind of a problem," said Rosie. "One time Uncle Fred thought Vern was a pickle and almost took a bite. I invented some machines to keep Vern out of Fred's lunch." Rosie pointed to a shelf of contraptions. Each was labeled "Snake Away," followed by a number. There were 70.